What's going on, man? I'm Logan. Welcome to my home kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious pan sauce that really elevates the flavor of chicken. There's a shopping list right there. The recipe cannot be any easier. We have chicken, we have heavy cream, lemon, thyme, and a ton of garlic. The thing that I love about this recipe is that it's quick, it's all done in one pan, and there's a minimal amount of prep work.
First, we need to lay down a cutting board. Place damp paper towels underneath that board to keep it from slipping around. Now we grab the 2 whole lemons. This recipe is lemon forward on flavor, so I'm going to zest both lemons. That white pith part is a little bit bitter, so be careful not to zest all the way down to that. So I have 4 stems worth of fresh thyme that we're going to pick the leaves off. If you grab the top of the stem and run your fingers down and pull the leaves right off, it makes it so much easier getting the leaves of the thyme off of the stem.
Make sure you save your stems. They could be used to flavor soups and, stocks, all that kind of stuff, right?
Pinch the leaves together and run your knife through it a couple times. You don't want to over chop the thyme because it has good flavorful oils in it. The more you chop it, the more you release the oils out of the herb. Chop it until it starts to become fragrant. Now I'm going to grab 4 to 5 garlic cloves depending on size right off the head. First thing I like to do with the garlic is chop that root end off, remove that outer peppery layer, and now we're going to slice the garlic very thin. This is where practicing good knife work comes into handy. I'm keeping my fingertips curled in while that knife blade is riding up against my knuckle, and my knuckle is actually guiding the blade of the knife. It takes a little bit of practice.
So slice the garlic nice and thin, it'll give the sauce a really good texture.
So now we have our thyme chopped, our garlic sliced, and our lemon zested. Next we move on to the chicken. I'm grabbing 2 whole chicken breasts and trimming off any kind of fat off of the chicken. Now you could go one of 2 ways. You could use a meat mallet to pound the chicken nice and flat, or you could lay the chicken flat on the cutting board and cut the chicken in half, almost like you're butterflying it, but you're cutting the chicken all the way through. And if you have a good amount of practice, then you will be able to cut the chicken in half with nice even slices. I'm slicing the chicken in half because I want the chicken to cook really fast, which is what the whole point of this recipe is: fast, quick, and easy. This recipe is good for 3 to 4 people, depending on how hungry everybody is, right? Before we get to searing off the chicken, we need to make sure it actually has some good flavor. So I'm gonna sprinkle quite liberally with kosher salt, hit it with some freshly cracked black pepper, and then go on with that lemon zest. Like I said, this is a very lemon forward flavor on this recipe, so I'm gonna use all the lemon zest on the chicken. The last thing to go on the chicken is that freshly chopped thyme. Save a nice pinch of the thyme for the sauce. Of course, this has both sides, so make sure to flip those pieces over and season the other side as well. Looking pretty tasty. Warm up your pan over medium-high heat for 2 to 3 minutes. If you drop a little bit of water in the pan and it beads around and dances around like that, then you're ready to go. You definitely don't want to have your chicken sticking, so a nice hot pan is very necessary. After clearing off the water, go in with 2 tablespoons of oil and drop the chicken pieces in. Make sure to go away from you so you don't splash yourself with oil. This chicken cooks really quickly. I'd say it's about 2 to 3 minutes per side, if that. Let the chicken do its thing for the couple minutes and don't disturb it. When the chicken is nice and caramelized on the first side, it'll release from the pan very easily. After the chicken is flipped over, go ahead and cook it for an additional 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not necessarily looking to cook the chicken all the way through at this point in time. We're just getting a nice caramelization on the outside on both sides. Once caramelization has happened, remove the chicken from the pan, put it on a plate, set it aside. Now we want to reduce the cooking temperature to medium-low and drop in the garlic. Once the garlic's in, give the garlic a nice pinch of kosher salt. The salt's going to draw out some moisture out of the garlic as well as some great flavor. Drop in about 2 tablespoons worth of unsalted butter, and you're going to sweat down the garlic very gently for 3 to 4 minutes until it becomes nice and fragrant. The garlic's going to release a little bit of moisture, and you're going to want to scrape those beautiful caramelized brown bits from the bottom of the pan as the garlic cooks. We're not really looking to get a whole lot of color on the garlic. A little slight caramelization is all you need. The raw smell will be cooked off the garlic and become nice and fragrant. Cooking garlic nice and slow like this will really release that natural sweetness that the garlic has out. Once the garlic is cooked all the way through, go in with that heavy cream. Hit the cream with some salt, some freshly cracked black pepper, a nice pinch of that fresh thyme, and of course we want to juice both lemons into the cream. Now you could turn the heat up on the pan to about medium, and you want to bring this cream up to simmer while you're scraping any remaining brown bits on the bottom of the pan. Once the cream has come up to simmer, drop in the chicken, with all of its resin juices, of course. Placing the chicken in the simmering cream is going to cook the chicken the rest of the way through without drying it out. You want to simmer the cream until it reduces volume by half. This is going to take about 4 to 5 minutes. When the cream is almost to a consistency that I like, I give the sauce a taste and adjust seasoning as necessary. Add more salt if you need, add more freshly cracked black pepper. You want to keep in mind that as the sauce reduces, it's going to concentrate all the flavors, so try not to go too heavy on the salt because it will become a little bit more salty. About halfway through the cooking time, I like to flip the chicken over. This is the consistency on the sauce that I'm looking for. It's nice and thick and creamy. I can tell the way it looks when it's simmering, and if you scrape the bottom of the pan with a spoon, the sauce will hold its shape for a split second. Now you want to kill the heat and give the sauce one final taste and adjust seasoning as necessary. A thing of beauty, and it smells freaking awesome.
So this would be good over like mashed potatoes, rice, pearl couscous, that kind of thing. Also I have a crispy crushed potato recipe right there. It's one of my older videos, but nonetheless, it'll be just a banging match with this, right? So good, dude. All the flavors are real rounded. You can taste everything. You can taste the garlic, the lemon, the thyme, and the chicken. Nice and moist.